So it seems that the rumors were indeed true. Count Dankula is going to run for the European Union elections on behalf of UKIP. Now, he made this post claiming that he believes firmly that Brexit is going to be betrayed, which means that the United Kingdom is going to have to send Euro parliamentaries into the European Union, and he wants to run. Now, what's interesting is that I don't think he's going to win, unfortunately, because he's running in Scotland. And if you look at the numbers, like Scotland didn't manage to elect a single UKIP member in any previous elections. So, chances are quite low. But with that said, the opposition, the journalists and the mainstream media, certain activists, are having a massive meltdown over it, almost as if he is guaranteed to win. I think the reason they are actually having a meltdown is now they won't be able to censor him, because if they try to censor him, that can be viewed as political interference. That can be viewed as him being suppressed for his political beliefs. So he might get a little bit more on the spotlight. He might go a little bit more on mainstream media channels, and they have to take him seriously. But, I hope I'm wrong. I genuinely do. I hope that he actually manages to win. That will be really interesting. I mean, who knows? With the way Brexit is going, a lot of people are upset, and all those people who are upset might actually vote for UKIP. So he posted this on his Twitter. To any journalist that tried to reach me out for my comment, here is my official statement. Now, what I find out interesting about Count Dankula, he constantly say that all of this happened because of a joke. Whoa, 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 whoa! Holy shit! That escalated really quickly. Makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Jesus, Dank, what is wrong with you? He keeps saying that it's because of a joke that he's being targeted by a lot of activists and journalists. I don't think it's the joke necessarily. Like, the joke got a lot of attention on him and kind of made the authorities and anyone that got upset to look ridiculous. It's like, really, you're going to arrest someone over a joke? Like, you're arresting comedians now? Is that what you're doing? So he managed to get like a big crowd of people that are interested in him. And because he now has a big audience, he used that audience to talk against the left, to expose things that aren't really okay in his country, to expose authoritarianism, to expose the restrictions of freedoms and liberties in his country. And this is why he's actually being targeted. And it's very interesting in the way they're targeting him, right? So, for example, every time I read about an article that talks about the Three Musketeers, Sargon of Akkad, Paul Joseph Watson, and Count Dankula, they usually like quote nasty things that Paul Joseph Watson and Sargon of Akkad has said, but they don't have anything to quote about Count Dankula. They never quote anything ridiculous that this man said, and I think it's because he doesn't say ridiculous things. This is why they went absolutely crazy when he was about to go on the BBC and have a show there, and they managed to brigade and then take down the show, because he is actually a person that talks common sense. And please correct me if I'm wrong. If he actually said, if you know Count Dankula saying anything outrageous, anything even remotely politically incorrect, just post it here so I can see it. But every time I see an article from the mainstream media, there is no quote, which leads me to assume he hasn't said anything batshit crazy, because otherwise they would have quoted. They always say it's like, oh, Michan, he went to prison. Michan, he got arrested. It's like, yeah, he got arrested for making a joke, like that. That says a lot about the system, not a lot about the person. But anyway, his YouTube channel got completely demonetized. Apparently, he got like no information as to why. There was this BuzzFeed article claiming that he is far right or something, and the next day he got demonetized. And again, in the article, no quotes. Nothing of his opinions that were unsavory. Absolutely nothing. It's just, no, this is a bad person. That's it, period. So he posted on his Twitter, people are wriggling out of the candidate part. It just means I will be considered. It doesn't mean I will be 100% selected. But they're acting as if you already won the elections. Like, they're really afraid. And I generally think that they are afraid because they might think he has a chance of winning. Otherwise, why would you be afraid? Like if you know some ridiculous guy is going to run in the elections and he's got no chance in hell, then you should be happy, you know. Like if I were to see Alejandra Ocasio-Cortez running for the U.S. presidency, I'll be like, you go, girl, you do it. You know, she doesn't have the age yet, but with her politics, I would definitely cheer her on. I was like, yeah, best candidate for the Democrats. Yeah, AOC 2020. You know, like. So Count Dankula is saying to the usual suspects having a meltdown in my mentions. You are upset, I get that. You hate me, so you lie about me. You do shady shit to me. You interfere with my life and try to hold me back whenever I try to do anything. Well, let me explain why this is all your fault. If you hadn't arrested me over a joke, this wouldn't be happening. If you hadn't cheered my conviction, this wouldn't be happening. If you hadn't tried to damage my appeal, this wouldn't be happening. If you hadn't cheered when my appeal got rejected, this wouldn't be happening. If you hadn't sent me death threats, this wouldn't be happening. If you hadn't tried to attack me in the street, this wouldn't be happening. Holy shit, this is a new one. I didn't know, like, someone tried to... Man, honestly, Count Dankula is one of the kindest people I know. Prove me wrong. You know, like, prove me that. What exactly did he do to deserve this? I don't even know, like, what opinions he has that are so controversial. Like, he wants small government. Oh my fucking lord, he's a Nazi. If you hadn't constantly lied about and misrepresented my belief, this wouldn't be happening. If you hadn't harassed all my employers into firing me and leaving me jobless, this wouldn't be happening. This is actually a good point. You know, like all these people that are livid about, you know, individuals like Count Dankula, like, why are you trying to get him fired? Like, if I was thinking from a utilitarian point of view, like, I wish he would have a job so he stops tweeting. Like, if I legitimately hate him, you know, it's like, for the love of God, find a job, man. You know, like, find something that means you work 10 hours a day so you're away from the computer or something. In fact, I would just find out where he works and I would tell his boss whatever he's tweeting. Like, shouldn't he be working? You know? I come to your business because Count Dankula is employed. Shouldn't he be working? Why is he tweeting? No, I would want him to have like 2 or 3 jobs so he doesn't have time for his activism. That would be like the actual solution. But these people don't think. If you hadn't called in threats to our venues to shut them down, this wouldn't be happening. Imagine that, like this is the problem. The media doesn't report on this shit, but it's actually true. Like, I've been following what he's doing. Like, every time he goes on an event, you have, like, hope, not hatred, that goes there and says, oh, yeah, there's going to be violence if you allow the speaker. You know, he's a Nazi, and Antifa quickly follows. Was it hope, not hatred? Might have been another leftist activist group with another kindergarten name. But... I think it was not hatred. In Scarborough, they're the ones that got Sargon on the platform, and I think Dankula was supposed to speak there. Anyway, just take with a grain of salt everything that I said, because I just woke up, you know. But you did get, like, his platforms taken away. Like, and it's like, they say, oh, they're a private business, they're a private enterprise, they can deplatform whom they want. Yeah, but that's not what happens, right? Like, they always skip the step. It's like, the guy has a deal with... a university or with something that has a big room that allows people to stay in. So the deal is made, the contract is signed, you know, it's etched in blood. And then you have like the activists that are coming and they're saying, look, if you have this, there will be violence. We're going to come in there and we're going to smash your shit and we're going to make Berkeley look like a barbecue parade. So now, you know, like the people at the university are like, holy shit, you know, we don't want all this trouble, we don't want this, so we're going to cancel. They're not canceling it because they don't like Dankula or anything, they're canceling because they're afraid of these people. The thugs, the black shirts, I guess. Very annoying when you're in a country that doesn't have this. It's very difficult to understand why people put up with it. You know, like, if it happened in my country towards someone, like, people would just go to view that person out of spiting, you know, the terrorists, because it's like you're using violence in order to push a political ideology is the definition. If you weren't all cheering authoritarian laws that will one day fuck you in the arse, this wouldn't be happening. Basically, when Nazi Pog happened, see if anyone just went, wow, what a cunt, and went on with the daily lives, then my 15 minutes would literally have just been that, 15 minutes. But instead, you frothed at the mouth and interfered in every part of my life you could. This is, again, like, true. Dankula wasn't that big. Like a lot of people don't realize that he had just a couple of subscribers, and the video where he trained the where he trained the pug to do the Nazi salute, that one got I believe more than 1 million views, and that's how he gained fame. If people would have just ignored it, it would have been one viral video. I have a viral video as well. I have a video that went like 1 million views and stuff. But like no one talked about it. No one. It's just something that popped up and then went away. You had a nice boogeyman to take your anger and hatred out on, because who cares what's happening to the Nazi? The reason I am where I am is because of you. I am still around because you kept me around. You just couldn't drop it, could you? And as you can see, like most of these tweets, they get a lot of hearts. He's being very popular in what he's saying. So yeah, I'm definitely going to follow these elections closely. I don't know if he's going to win. Again, he's in Scotland. That's the big minus. But plus is that Brexit didn't happen, and people are really upset with European Union, so they might vote for Eurosceptic parties. We're going to see what's going on. Also interesting to see how he's going to do his campaign. Like, I know Dankula is very funny, so if he's purchasing a lot of flyers and stuff like that, that would be great. We'll see. Let me know what you think. I'm looking forward to reading from you guys in the comment section.